Hey, what's up guys? It's Mario from Elektron. We're gonna take a first look at the model samples. Per project, 6 banks, and within that bank, 16 patterns, so a total of 96 patterns per project. So yeah, I'll go to an empty one right there. Load up a drum kit. If you go to the wave, this one is your sample, basically your sample menu. Go in there and you could change the actual sample with this knob. But if you want to load in a full kit, you go back in the menu, and right here there's different files. And if you, the way that they're set up, there's 6 of them, and they'll load up like the full 6 tracks there. If you hold in the level data knob, hold it down, load whole directory, yes. One kit, go to this one, yes. Sequence mode, just press record, and then you can see the sequence here. I'll change the tempo up a little bit. Turn off the click. I'm gonna add some effects, reverb, and some delay to it, to this one track. There's delay and reverb, send, per track, and it's a master delay reverb. And then some reverb. Gonna change the size of the reverb. And then function, you could change the reverb tone. I'm gonna sequence some hi-hats. So if I wanna go to that track, hold track 2, or track 3, I have hi-hats on track 3 actually. Go to sequence mode, step sequence. Some retriggers. I'll copy this retrigger and place it at other places. And then parameter locking. I'm going to add some parameter locks on these hi-hats. Some reverb on a few of them. Some trigger conditions. Give it some probability, and then I'll copy this one and add it to a bunch of places, a bunch of different steps, so I could add a variety to the one sequence that I have at this time. Now let's go to the snare with live recording. And I'm gonna go straight into the kick after. I have another hi-hat right here. I'm gonna shape the sound, higher pitch, bring it up a little bit with the volume. And then I'm gonna live record this one. If you go to pad menu, you can turn off fixed velocity, and so I'm gonna play the velocity sensitive pads. Add some reverb to that. And then some bass. So one cool trick I'm gonna do, function, temporary save, what that does is it saves this pattern information in a temporary area so that if I change any parameters on any throughout the tracks, I could always come back to that by hitting function reload pattern. So some cool performance tricks. If you hold track and change parameters, it's control all. Bring it back. Filter on it. And then I'll do some live recording of this sound of the parameters. Since I like this pattern, I'll copy it over. So I'll hold this pattern 15, copy it, go over to the next pattern, hold paste, and then now this pattern is pasted over there. So I'll go to the next pattern, do a different drum arrangement. One cool great thing about the model sample is that you have per track pattern length and also scaling. So right now it's 64 steps, so I'll go right here and I'll change it to 16 steps, so it's just one bar. Yes, and then I'll go to the snare then and change the scaling to 2. Change that track to just 16 steps as well. So I'm just gonna sequence in some triggers, add some trigger conditioning so that this one bar could be a longer sequence because of the conditional triggers. So I'll add a percentage to this, copy this guy. It did record it quantized, but I want to nudge this step over a little bit. So I'll grab this and it has a nudge. If you hold down the step that you want to change, you just change whatever parameter. So now I'm going to bring it over. So now I'll put it over like a 30-second note, so it's a little bit offbeat. I want that right there too, so I'll hold this step, copy it, paste it over there. And then same thing with parameter conditional triggering. I'll just add some probability to a few of the tracks. But yeah, per track, these buttons right here, this one is gonna change your ability to change the sample. This button, it's a quick button to change it from regular playback to, oh no, that's looping, my bad. And then this is reverse, so you have pretty quick buttons to just change the playback mode. And then LFO, which I'll add to a track actually, that'll be a good idea. So I'll go to this track 5, add an LFO, and the wave form, you have a few different options: triangle, sine wave, square wave, ramp down, and then an envelope. So there's no envelope built in, but you could use the LFO as an envelope. So I'll add that to the frequency cutoff. You have a retrig button that you could set per step. So if I hold this track, this step, I want to add a retrig to there, turn it on, and you could change the rate of it. And then you also have the ability to change the fade in or out. Parameter locking some hi-hats, different pitch, different reverb settings. change the decay amount to shape the sound the way I want it. You have that across all tracks. Pitch, decay, sample start, sample length. So it's a really quick way to scope your sound just from a sample. I'm gonna add some trigger conditioning to this guy. And then as for a performance tool function, you could mute and unmute tracks. So now I added all these, crazy stuff. What I could do is, now that I like this pattern the way it sounds, I'll copy this one again and then paste it. And then now that I have that, I should be able to reload. Now I go back to the pattern that I started on. So I use this in a way to start building different variations because you are, somewhat limited with the amount of patterns that you have and the freedom you have. So the reload pattern and temporary save is a great function for performance and then also in the studio. So what I'll do is how I want it to start is I want it to start with this pattern, then I'll chain pattern 16 next to it. Another performance tool, Retrigger knob, Retrigger button. I'm gonna go to the Retrigger menu for this track. I'm gonna turn it so the rate is at 30-second notes. So when I hold this, and then that's also recordable. So I'll live record that. Option you have is always on, so if you turn that on, you don't need to press the retrig button. So I'll live record that. Another great feature about Model samples is its MIDI sequencing per track. Thank you for checking out Model Samples. If you are looking to get into Elektron, this is the unit for you. Available on Reverb soon.